Yo, this is Tyler A. Bear, your one and only, a.k.a. The Real Last Bear, and you're listening to WNS Podcast. I'm about to bear rake your ass.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast.
For all your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com.
Or find us on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. Now here are your hosts, Daniel Herron,
Tyler A. Bear.
And
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler A. Bear.
AKA,
Your one and only.
I'm Doug.
And welcome you to episode 196 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
If you want us to bear rake your ass, just follow us on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, and Player.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
If they want to have their ass bear raked, they should follow us. That is the worst advertising ever. It was, if you don't want your ass bear raked, then make sure you follow us on what you just said.
Let's talk about Barry.
What?
I'm trying out different lines, okay?
Oh, okay. I'm switching it up a little bit. Yeah. You're freestyling.
Yeah.
Where are we at, Doug?
Twitter at WNS Podcast, at WNS_Daniel, at Tyler_Aber.
So there you go.
Follow him.
Welcome to the show. Got quite a bit to talk about. Going to dive into your feedback. Going to talk about some Raw, Total Divas, Double Diva edition, I guess.
Double D's.
Got some got some hot topics and Q&A as well. So, how you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, thinking about those Double Ds?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good stuff.
Double D's, 2K15. You know, it's all good.
Yeah, absolutely. Doug, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm a little tired, but I'm here.
Working man, working hard for the
Working hard
money.
for the money.
At least the weather's cooled down a little bit.
Is Tyler on crack? Why is he so amped that day?
He's
Tyler hasn't been in this good of a mood in like 6 fucking months.
I hate Jimmy John's.
He's the hype bear.
I'm not a bear.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, everyone eats Jimmy John's, even
Y'all,
Brock Lesnar.
Check it out, y'all. WNS
it
Podcast.
Supports Jimmy John's.
2 out of 3 approved because I've yet to try Jimmy John's.
What?
Well, that's why I keep like bragging on y'all about it. Oh well. Nevertheless, welcome to the show. Have some feedback. First bit of feedback we have is from Richard saying, I think Cena will beat Ambrose and put Seth Rollins over. Although that's now been disproved. Given this was, typed up last week. Rollins, Ambrose, and Rusev are the future, but Cena is the present. People talk crap about Cena, saying that he buries talent when they start to get momentum. I say that Cena has to put over CM Punk, I say that Cena has put over CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Brock Lesnar. He lost to these guys cleanly and lost the title all 3 times. Cena tries to put the talent over, but they either quit, get hurt, or work part-time. Cena is a company guy and will do what's best for business, if that means putting over talent or ending their momentum because they failed to be the man. I think Cena knows that his time is winding down and knows that with the likes of Rollins, Ambrose, and Rusev, that WWE will thrive in the future. I know Cena has a lot left, but I do think the future starts when Cena puts over Ambrose or Rollins. Cena is still the man, and in my eyes, he always will be. But I think the future is bright as well. Hustle, loyalty, respect for life.
Word life.
This is basic Bearnomics. No?
I still can't. I don't know if this guy's playing this or not, but I mean, that's cool.
No, I think this is his proof that he's not just trolling us.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I mean, he's basically making the argument that I've been making that same argument for a long time now.
Yeah.
As far as Cena putting either Ambrose or Rollins over, I mean, that made a lot of sense to me. It still does.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think that the better scenario in all of this was that if they were to do Cena and Ambrose at at Hell in the Cell, they have a competitive match that makes Ambrose look really good, but Cena guts it out and wins. Then he goes on to lose to Rollins in the main. that way everyone sort of looks good in their own way. Rollins doesn't have to look super strong. It only matters that he wins because he's the fucking heel.
Yeah.
Cena looks good because he only lost because he had to gut out a grueling match with Ambrose and then have 2 matches in the same night. And Ambrose gets the rub of having a really strong competitive match with Cena, and he doesn't necessarily have to beat Cena right here, right now. And that could play out later. So I thought that was the better, smarter way to go, making all these guys look good. So I would agree with, what's his name?
Richard.
I would agree with Richard, and because I too thought that's what's going to happen, but it looks like they changed the plans up a bit.
A little bit.
But but I would agree that would have been the better way to do it, and that's what I thought they were going to do.
Very good stuff. So thanks for the feedback, Richard. Next bit of feedback we have is from Michael saying, I agree that The Rock coming in was a bit of a waste of time, even though it was nice to see him again. The lack of star power is truly noticeable right now during Raw and SmackDown. I guess we could save this part for the Q&A, but we'll go ahead and address it now. Do you think that back when AJ Styles was a free agent, the WWE should have signed him? Also, to have a match between Rollins, Cena, and Ambrose is very pointless. It seems really desperate because the champion, of course, will not be there. We all know Rollins will win a match at a pay-per-view against either one. The only thing is the way they will go about it. Due to Roman being hurt, I don't think anything will change in plans to have him win the WWE title at WrestleMania, but I believe as soon as he does, Rollins will cash in to win the title. This may be simply be done because they don't think that Roman will be ready just yet to take the company on his back. So for the first thing, as far as AJ Styles, I know we've addressed it a few times on the show.
If they wanted AJ, they would have got him.
Exactly.
Do I think they should have took him? I think they could have found a way to use him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's shown, from what little bit I've seen of his New Japan run, he seemed to have sort of a career renaissance, sort of now that the stench of TNA is off of him, and he's been put in a position to have really good matches with other really good wrestlers. And I think a lot of people who were AJ doubters and naysayers have sort of turned around on him now that he's doesn't have the hindrance of working in such a shitty company like TNA, where they just continually fuck the dude over. And but the big problem that AJ has is he's dog shit on the mic. He can't fucking talk at all. He's not good on the mic. He's a good wrestler. He's gonna have good matches, but I don't know. I think it's hard to put like a smaller guy with a mouthpiece. Like when you see a guy with a mouthpiece, it's usually a guy who looks impressive, like sort of like a big,
strong, silent.
Right. So it's sort of hard to have like a small guy who needs someone to talk for him. So I think that if you're a small guy, you gotta fucking learn to talk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they want you if you can't talk and you're small. Big guys, they get off as much as they sort of like change their opinion of certain body types and won't work for them. They've certainly become more accepting of different body types in the recent years.
Yeah.
But I still think those dudes got to talk for themselves unless they fucking look impressive. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's probably what hurt him. I don't think anyone would argue that he's not good enough in the ring to be there.
Yeah. So, like we said a few times in the past, if WWE wanted him, they would have gotten him. As far as Roman Reigns and the Seth Rollins thing for WrestleMania, I'd like to see it, although I'm not sure if I'd like to see Rollins or Reigns holding the title as the credits roll or whatever. It'd be interesting to see, if Reigns went through hell defeating Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, holding the title. Rollins' music hits, he tries to cash in, and Reigns somehow toughs it out to, say, oh, not only did he go through Brock Lesnar, but he was also able to gut it out and defeat Seth Rollins, which, might not make a lot of sense because it was like you got a fresh guy who going up against someone who just went through hell, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's completely plausible. I don't think that we've seen enough to indicate how likely that is at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think it's totally a possible. I wouldn't see that as out of the you know what the fuck I'm trying to say. Yeah. Out of the picture. It's totally possible, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there you go. So thanks, Michael. We appreciate it. Oh, excuse me. Had some ice go down my throat. Last bit of feedback we have is from Hugh saying, great show as always, guys. Just wanted to give you a thank you for the WWE 2K15 update. I had no idea that the NXT story mode was only available for PS4 and Xbox One. I had pre-ordered it for the PS3, but heard heard the show and quickly switched it to PS4. Looks like I'm going to be investing in a PlayStation 4 sooner than planned. So there you go, Sony. The WWE. There you go, Sony and WWE. The WNS podcast is making you money. Sponsorship now. Although you may have to ease off the jizz jar references, which I love. Going places few podcasts dare. WNS podcast, keeping it real.
You know, we hit the things everyone wants to
I
hear.
hope you're fucking right about that, A-Bear, because I didn't fact check you. You got motherfuckers buying $400 systems over there. You better be right.
I get a commission because I'm
you,
helping
man.
Sony. I'm helping Sony.
better
we hit
cross-check your
the great
references.
stuff, like jizz jars, putting your dick in tailpipes, stuff like that.
A family show.
Family show.
Yeah.
Let
your kids listen to it.
Or
It's okay.
some people are tired of hearing that. But no, it's legit. It's on the WWE 2K15 website.
There you
For
go.
a while, there was information going out that was like IGN and other websites, but the WWE 2K15 website did not have it on there. But everything is out there now, so it's
Look at
it's
that.
legit.
Tyler A-Bear, legitimate journalist checking the facts.
I was telling Doug earlier, I was like, actually I told the guys that I know last year for sure, but I don't know about the year before that. I have been, I'll talk about it on the show, but I haven't really got pumped like this in like at least 2 years, I think. And it's just a lot to look forward to, and it's on a new, new console. So
Yeah. Well, I remember, last year you weren't as into it as you are this year. WWE 12, my God, my phone would not stop buzzing with you.
Yeah.
You were definitely into it. So, it's good to see that that's back a little bit.
Oh, it's awesome. I every day, since with my new job, I have a computer.
Yeah.
So
now you
I
can
get on
check.
it. Yeah, I check on stuff all the time, and
Looking for the latest info to share
Yeah.
with the listeners.
yeah, and which I will get into that in hot topics. But yeah,
Mm-hmm. There you go. So thanks for all the feedback. We certainly appreciate it. We noticed we got a couple tweets from people who are listening on the player.fm website.
Oh, cool.
Saying that it had not appeared.
Aw.
So
I didn't think people really use that. I thought Tyler just liked that he found us somewhere and started saying it. I guess people really
Actually,
use
he
it.
showed me it.
yeah.
Are we dropping that?
No.
No. I'm just saying, I thought it was. I thought you guys just found it and were excited that we were somewhere else than we tried to be, and just started saying it. I didn't know people were really using it, though.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's always good to know that people are listening on there.
So
'cause I know
they're not posting our stuff.
They didn't post. It didn't post this week. Sort of like how iTunes and Stitcher every once in a while it won't post.
But those
okay.
guys find it from our feed. We don't send shit to them.
Correct. And so the tweet that we got notified us and Player.fm. Player.fm actually tweeted us saying, "Hey, what's the deal? What's going on?" And so I messaged them and was like, "Hey, we've been experiencing difficulties with iTunes and Stitcher. Haven't gotten any results or solutions, but here's the direct link if you want to put it up." So.
People who've been listening for a long time, I'm pretty sure we've said before, one time we just searched us on the internet and we've noticed that we've got other websites that put our show on their website.
That we don't send to. That's
some have stopped. Some stopped. We found even a video. The video of me testing the mic was on some other website. What the fuck is that on there for? It was weird to me.
a wrestling news site.
Yes.
Yeah. It was why do you want me testing a fucking mic?
Talking about there's some crap. There's some crap
it's just
over
it's
there.
just me. What was
You can just stop right there. Why does anybody want you testing the mic? But even further,
But no, I think the title was testing the mic for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Oh, we got to have this shit on our website. There's some random guy walking in some yard. Hey, look at this crap.
I
going on
like the
street.
idea that some random
good
news
property.
site. I like the idea that some random news site that we're not associated with, that doesn't have a podcast or anything, is playing us off as their own podcast.
Well, that's happened before.
And
though,
when
right?
Tyler's doing shit mic tests, are our man Tyler Avery.
Yeah, we got our man Tyler Abear in the field right now. He's checking out this place.
Spots and Tyler Abear, checking it out. Hey, Tyler,
Check
how's
us
it
out on
going?
Wrestle Spots podcast.
What's good? What's good?
Dude, what's good? What's good? Hey, clearly his mouth did not just say that. Wrestle Spots. No, WNS podcast. But no, I felt
Cash
a lot
money, bear
because
dog.
I think there was about 3 days I was searching. I was like, what other websites are we on?
Because you never know.
There was another website that did like half our stuff and stopped.
Huh.
And there was that video.
Yeah,
and
we pop up somewhere every once in a while. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know, like whenever we have interviews and stuff like that, Ben will send out sort of like a press release. Hey, here's some of the stuff.
Wasn't
that
there
we've
one
got.
time where like there was like a interview, but they replaced the WNS? They said WNS was something else.
Yeah, and I told Ben about that, and he got him to take it down.
Hey Ben, you didn't know we worked for another website?
Yeah. We get double commission of 0.
0 times 0.
0 times 2 is still 0. I guess.
Yes, it is. So, doing this for fun, not for pay. So, but we're
Now
happily
0
accepting donations.
fun times 2, double the fun.
No. Okay, whatever. So, we have Raw happened this past Monday.
Yeah, it did.
I know some people asked, they commented in some of the stuff asking our thoughts about the 15th anniversary of SmackDown. I unfortunately didn't get to catch it.
Where were people asking about that?
It was on the main page, saying, "Oh,
What do you mean the main page?
On the Wrestling News Source Facebook page."
Guys,
I check a lot of things.
hey guys, I mean I look at our shit, but I don't look for it on the main page. Like,
yeah. This is why I stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning every
because
day.
I'm not discouraging anyone from posting on the WNS, like the main sites page, the Wrestling News Source page, but like if you want to make sure like we read what you're saying, like come to our shit because we check that for sure. Like I don't always, every once in a while I look at the Wrestling News Source main page, but I don't check that like I check our own shit.
I don't always check that page.
So if you're like sending us feedback and you're not hearing anything, it's probably because you're not putting on our Facebook or our YouTube or our Twitter or whatever. Like come to our shit. Like we have our own page.
Yep. It's good stuff.
Yeah, we're not discouraging you from using it. Just go to both or whatever.
But basically, someone was just like, "Oh, I wonder what these guys think about the 15th episode or 15th anniversary episode of SmackDown." Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it.
I mean, it was how like they do like old school Raw is about that caliber of a SmackDown.
Like the 20th anniversary of Raw that we went to that sucked.
Yeah, I remember it. I don't remember why I hated or not hated. I don't remember why.
Well,
I wasn't into it, but I remember not being into it.
One, it wasn't a big show. Like they had the entrance was cool, like the video intro, but then it was just another episode of Raw with a couple of, here's a flashback of something that happened, 10 years ago.
Right.
Oh, check this out. That happened, 12 years ago. Oh, here's the first episode of Raw. That was cool. But other than that, they didn't do anything like grand or special. Yeah. And the other reason why you probably hated it as much as I did is because the jerks that were sitting.
Okay, I can't remember if that was the pay-per-view or
no, the pay-per-view is where we actually had fun.
Okay, that's right.
And we're enjoying it.
I mixed those two up.
The Raw was whenever we were getting ready to go to jail.
Yeah.
I think some of the I think if we would have started it, a lot of people sitting around us would have helped.
Vouched for us.
Yeah, like, no, dude, the guy punched him, and
well, those dudes that were below us were like, y'all should have just fucking, y'all should have hit those fuckers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, didn't want to go to prison.
We should have.
All that. Oh well. So
because the fucking justice never works out for the dudes that are just trying to stand up for themselves. You fucking know that.
Yeah. So we kick things off on Raw with Ambrose coming out talking about Cena. So Cena decides to come out and they have a good back and forth. Then the Authority comes out and says, "Oh, you guys, you want
I got a bet.
Yeah, we got a bet that you guys won't work together. So we're gonna put y'all in a triple or a 3-team tag match.
That's
and
right now.
it's the standard bet, and it's gonna happen right now." So they had to go up against Goldust, Stardust, and the Usos. And I kind of had a problem with this because one, the Usos face team, so why not just throw in another heel tag team? But I get it. You want to have the faces wear each other down, and then the heels will get the advantage. But still, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's fair. I mean, it bothers me whenever temporary teams or thrown together teams beat the champs in a match. That always bothers me. But at least, not at least, but you were saying like I can't even think off the top of my head another heel team to have thrown in there with him,
They don't
which
really-
is part of the problem.
Yeah, because Ryback is out right now since
Right.
Ryback had to have surgery.
They just made the Wyatts, or looking like the Wyatts are going singles.
Yeah, they don't really have anyone,
Yeah.
which is kind of
Sad.
sad. Yeah, it's
Not
really
kinda.
sad.
It is sad.
Very sad.
Yeah,
He could have maybe had Miz and Sandow, but I know they used them later on. But
sure. Yeah, I feel like what they were trying to do, and again, like it really bothers me when the like makeshift teams beat the champs, but I felt like what they were trying to do is offer you like a fresh matchup
yeah,
because these guys are sort of entangled in with a certain group of guys that you see pretty repetitively.
mm-hmm.
So I felt like they're trying to give you a different spin on it, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't like the idea of them beating the champs.
Yeah, I don't like that either. You know, one, it's poor booking for the champions, obviously,
Right.
which they haven't. Like we said,
Not that they booked them strong anyway, because
Yeah.
how you're going to get a number one contender is by them losing anyway. But
Yeah.
still,
or
like,
having a
right?
tournament of some sort. But they always book whoever's champion sort of weak when it comes to Monday Night Raw. They're always losing matches and just never looking good. Yeah.
Other than the finish itself, I didn't mind the match. I thought the match was pretty solid.
But yeah, aside from beating the champions, the match was a good, strong start. This Raw was a little bit better than last week's. I missed out on some of it, but yeah, I mean, it's just I don't like the strange bedfellows beating the champions who have been a tag team. They've been established for over a year, and then two guys who have never worked together just get thrown into a match and they beat them.
Well, that's how it always works, huh?
Oh, of course. So I just don't like it. But the Authority comes out and says, "Oh yeah, we bet $1 and darn it, I lost. So you two are gonna tear each other apart tonight, as opposed to Hell in a Cell. We're gonna have a contract on a pole, no holds barred match."
I wonder what changed their mind.
I don't know. What do you think, Doug?
I don't know why they changed it, but I felt like the original plan was the stronger plan as far as like what I was talking about earlier, where I feel like there was a way to do that sequence of matches and make everyone look good in the process. Ambrose has a really strong showing against Cena, but Cena guts it out and beats him.
Yeah.
Then Cena loses to Rollins in the main event, which I feel like, again, you make Dean Ambrose look really competitive with Cena, so he looks good even though he doesn't beat him. But he doesn't have to right now. Cena guts it out, only loses because he's been in a really competitive match. Ambrose sort of picks a scrap. Rollins sort of picks the scraps, and it's fine for Rollins to. Rollins doesn't need a legit win because he's the heel. It's fine for him
Or
to
even have like Orton and Kane underneath the ring as the Hell in a Cell comes down, and they just beat the hell out of Cena.
Right, so everyone looks good coming out of that. Now he's got 2 weeks to rest. Like he there is not that built-in escape hatch for Rollins. Like Rollins has got to beat him, which I'm not saying Rollins can't or shouldn't beat him straight up. I'm just saying it seems unlikely that that's where they're going to go with it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, not even now because Ambrose won, but so that's totally feels like it feels like it's time to play that off, but it also feels like they're sort of hot-shotting that the finish, because what's sort of weird is they've done an unusually good job of nuancing the storyline to where all these guys have problems with each other in a believable way that makes sense.
Right.
Of course, Ambrose hates Rollins because he's fucked him over. Ambrose and Cena, same thing with Cena. Now Ambrose and Cena don't like each other because they think each of them are getting in the way of them getting their revenge. So that's why they have a legitimate beef with each other. And then also they've been building up for a while. This whole Orton thing is Orton saying he's tired of fighting Rollins battles for him.
Yeah.
And now we're getting this this sort of chest thumping against each other of Rollins and Orton. So, and with rumors of Orton maybe going babyface again, you can see that as a potential future feud. So they've done this really good job of building this web of feuds that make sense for everyone involved and are solid storytelling. So I don't know. Maybe they do pay off. Ambrose and Rollins here. I mean, it would make sense. It's the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I like how they've built the Cena Ambrose stuff in theory. I like how they've built the Cena Rollins stuff in theory. I like how Ambrose Rollins and now Rollins Orton. I like how they've done that because none of it seems forced and all of it seems natural, like grown out of it's really smartly done, which is not something they've done in a long time. It's been very like A to B stop, now C to D stuff, and this is real organic and natural, and it all makes sense and it's good. And I'm trying to like think to myself like why I'm not enjoying it more, because I acknowledge that it's smartly booked and probably the smartest booked thing since the Shield, and that's a different kind of booking. That's one group booked strongly. Like these are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys that are being booked smartly right now. And what I keep hinging on why I don't like this as much as I should is like Ambrose is so fucking hit or miss for me right now. Like
because of the comedic stuff.
Well, not just the comedic stuff is a big problem for me, and I've spoken about that in the past couple of weeks. But he's so hit or miss. Like I'll watch him in his opening promo, and there are glimpses of for like 5-10 seconds at a time. I go, that's good. That's what I like about Dean Ambrose, and then that goes to another 5 to 10 seconds of stuff that I think he's playing too big or like too loud, or not too loud in like volume, but you know what I mean? Like it's overplayed, it's over exaggerated, it's too much like look how crazy I'm being and not like a subtle I'm being. Because when you see, I don't know, like when I saw Brian Pillman, I thought Brian Pillman was fucking crazy, and maybe I was a kid then, but he doesn't seem to be doing this shit that like there are parts in bits and pieces of Ambrose in his segments that I was like, that's fucking perfect. Like that's a star right there. And but he always loses me, and he always goes back to something that's too exaggerated, a little too blown out, a little too like, hey, do you notice how crazy I'm being right now? And I'm just like, dude, just be
a little too animated.
Be more subtle, like rein it in just a little bit. And I don't know if that's how he's choosing to present himself, or someone backstage saying, hey, play it up more. Yeah. So I don't know what is fair to lay the criticism at, but I recognize that this whole web of the main event scene is being smartly done right now, but it's all hinging on Ambrose's performance, and I don't like how he's being presented to me right now.
If I had to guess, I would say it would be the people backstage that are telling him how to go out and perform, because I've seen some of the previous promos that he cut as John Moxley and all that, and he does really good work. And I agree with what you say. Rather than being bold in what you're doing, make it very subtle.
Right.
Stand in the ring. I like how he grips the mic and he'll just tap on it, because you can tell like he's getting perturbed a bit. Right. And
but he always blows that out into something that's like too big. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like keep it right at that, and then maybe just like move your head just sort of like a little twinge or something like that. Just be like, okay, that bothered me.
Right.
But you don't have to be like, oh, to do that.
Right.
Just
rein it in a little bit.
Yeah, just make it to where it's like, what is he really thinking? What's going on in that head of his? Is he about to explode?
He's a lunatic fringe.
Yeah, like make other people wonder what's going on in his head, rather than having him go, bah!
Right.
But like his ring work is solid.
His ring work's there. It's just, and like I said, it's like 50% of the time I'm like, okay, that's what I want more of. Like, keep it at that level, and then like the other half of the time I'm like, all right, too much, rein it in, right?
Yeah, make it subtle, so that whenever you do that one little jolt, people are like, oh, is he about to explode? Is he about to go off? What's happening? Like you gotta pull them in and then blow them away.
Yeah, and I don't want to feel. I mean, I think it's like necessary that we be honest with our opinions, but like I don't want to feel like I'm like taking a shit on Dean Ambrose. Like I like the guy, I want him to succeed.
Absolutely,
I think he is going to succeed. I'm just saying like what my like of what's going on right now is hinging mostly on his performance, because he's been the like predominantly featured guy.
Yeah,
and so like I'm just saying what I want out of him to like enjoy the product. I don't know.
And I know we've been talking about like who's going to be the next guy for several months. We've had this conversation numerous times, and we've talked about how well they have built the Shield, coming up from their beginnings. This situation, with Roman Reigns being out on injury makes me think like, okay, these guys are going to be the future because, back in the day during the Attitude Era, like we said, you had Austin, you had The Rock, you had Triple H, you had The Undertaker, you had Shawn Michaels, you had all of these big players. So that if one of them went out, like Shawn Michaels with a back injury, or Triple H with his ACL
Quad.
or his quad or whatever, you still had compelling stories. You take out Roman Reigns, you still got Dean Ambrose, you still got Seth Rollins. Like these guys are going to be big. And
see, the crazy thing is, I think Rollins has been more pleasing to me out of like what I want and expect out of him. I think I'm getting that from Rollins right now.
He's tapped into what his character is supposed to be.
Right.
I think they're still kind of questioning which direction they need to go with Dean Ambrose.
Right.
Like, does he
You're
need to
doing
be
the Dean Ambrose thing as you're telling me that. The one half of the popping and locking.
My money's worth.
So, he's, they're still, weaning back and forth on where they need to take him. And I think they need to just, harness it.
See, the fucked up thing, or not the fucked up thing, but the crazy thing is, I enjoyed Ambrose's previous work way more than I have ever of Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
Rollins was the guy I was always like the head scratcher. I was like, I don't see why everyone likes Rollins. When he was Ring of Honor champion, and even like through Age of the Fall and all that shit, I was like, why do people like Tyler Black so much? I don't fucking get it. And now, like, I fucking get it. And like Ambrose, I was like higher on the Moxley shit, and now I'm sort of like, I don't know, Mox, like fucking tone it down a little bit. Jesus Christ. I mean, sort of weird how that works, right? I don't know.
All it takes is time.
I guess I wonder if he's like doing something differently, and like the people backstage like it.
See, I don't know that it's fair, like to lay the blame at the feet of anyone, because I don't know how much it is of him running, them saying, hey, go do your thing, and he's doing it, or them saying, hey, this is what we want from you, or hey, can you give us more of this? I don't know where to point the finger, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to say that part of this is bothering me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like I said, I would, if I had to guess, it would be the people backstage who are tweaking it and doing stuff like that. But like, I heard an interview with Paul Heyman, I forget how long ago it was, where he was talking about, all the people who grab the microphones and they just yell into it, whereas Paul Heyman now speaks very slowly, he is very articulate.
He announces
every single thing.
His gimmick is that he enunciates.
and he said that's what he wants. He wants the audience to understand what he's saying. He wants them to listen when he is talking. And that's what I really like about it, and I feel like, you don't have to be loud and crazy in order to be considered the lunatic or the lunatic fringe or whatever.
What does fringe mean?
Every time I think of that, I think of like the little lacy stuff, like at the end of something, Like
I mean, I get
fringe.
it. It's just like,
Entree.
Yeah.
I get what they're going for, but when you're trying to present someone as an alternative, as a off the beaten path, as like not your like stereotypical guy, you want to like present someone with a little bit of edge, someone like a little different. Like then you can't do the buzzword shit with him. Like that doesn't work.
Yeah,
like
don't glorify
actions.
it.
Right. Like whenever you're like, hey, this guy is not like everybody else, then you can't present him like you present everyone else.
What they should have done, rather than saying, oh, he's the lunatic fringe, the lunatic fringe is here, you need to have JBL, whatever he's doing, whatever Ambrose is doing, have JBL be like, dude, this guy's a lunatic. What is he doing? That's where the color commentary comes into play.
You know what it reminds me of? Remember when Daniel Bryan first came along? I was like, oh no, he's a submission specialist.
Yeah.
He didn't use any of his submissions that much.
He did in the beginning.
A little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Not much.
There was the one match where he used cattle mutilation and all that, but
you don't present like counterculture guys. You don't present like underground guys the corporate way. Like you don't get the fucking non-corporate guy over the corporate way. You don't give him the buzzwords that you give everyone else. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Like, because people doubt the authenticity of how crazy he is. Like, he's not really that crazy. They give him fucking corporate buzzwords. Like, they're playing into it. You know what I mean?
is
It's not authentic. You
is
know, like
spewing mustard and ketchup in someone really signs of lunacy?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't do it. It's a crazy person has to do it.
I mean, who brings a hot dog cart to a wrestling event? Honestly, but yeah,
Hot dog man.
I don't know. Yeah, I think you just need to tone it down.
yeah, I don't know. Like I think
Like
they're
about this? Like this?
that
How
much.
much? How much?
Instead
How
of
much?
that, just be like, yeah. So, anywho, so yeah, that sets up for a on a pole match scheduled for the main event.
A dildo on a pole match.
After Cena and Ambrose get the victory. So next matchup, we got to see some Diva action. Paige and Alicia Fox going up against AJ and not her best friend, but the person that she hates the
I can
least.
stand you.
I can stand you. Layla. And during the match, Layla decides, no, I'm out of here later. So she bails. AJ ends up getting the victory. Really short matchup. And that's about it. She gets the win and then attacks Layla for bailing on her.
Yep.
Anything really to add?
I don't think so. I mean,
Yeah.
nothing comes to
I
mind.
don't know what the hell they're doing.
Tyler wanted to add 69 to the end of episode 196.
What?
Right there.
Nope.
You think I don't notice these things? I do.
That was a long time ago.
We're not at
Episode
episode 19,669, Tyler. I'm sorry. We'll be very old. We'd probably be dead before that episode airs.
No.
Yeah.
Kids will be doing this.
Yeah, our grandkids will be doing the show. So yeah, so there you go. Next up, we got to see Randy Orton going up against Dolph Ziggler, wanting to prove his worth to the Authority, saying that whoever,
Like, have we been through? We've been down this road before.
yeah, he basically talked to the Authority, saying, whoever wins between Orton and Cena, or not Orton and Cena, but between Cena and Ambrose, I want to face the other guy. I don't want to face the winner. We're not going to call him a loser, but he's going to be my opponent. That's who I want to fight.
Yeah.
Well, because the whole thing is dumb. Like
Yes.
to have like a losing match, but at least I'm fine with them saying the other guy because it would be like even worse. It's already stupid. It would be even
Like,
worse.
I don't want to challenge the winner.
Right,
I want to face the one who the other guy can beat.
Yeah, it would be even more stupid if he had said, "I want the loser."
Yeah.
So this is just
I want the loser, okay?
this is just the minimum
Rollins
amount
can
of
have the winner. I want the loser of this matchup.
and then let me have Brock Lesnar.
And then Brock Lesnar. I am Randy Orton from out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, I watched the whole video about that. Like, not
There's like
the
a whole YouTube channel on that.
Nice.
Really? Like, I watched a video where it's like
It's
just,
like RKO Vines is like the thing. It's like a whole
it's so
YouTube
funny.
channel.
It's
of
like that
RKO.
animation. He's just walking, RKO out of nowhere.
The one I popped for the most is the one I put like the little girls with the cookies or whatever.
Yeah,
She's like, "Ow, mom!"
that's
poor
quite
girl.
funny.
So Randy Orton decides to take on Dolph Ziggler with Cesaro on commentary. I thought this was actually a pretty good matchup between these two. The crowd was definitely into it. The finish was really nice. Another one of those RKOs from out of nowhere kind of situations.
Nowhere.
From out of nowhere.
Your
Get the crowd
next
going crazy.
new Intercontinental Champion, Cesaro.
You calling it now? I mean, our predictions aren't until next week, but you want to go ahead and do it now?
I'm calling it.
Calling it now. Okay. Doug, what did you think about this matchup?
I thought the match was pretty solid. What really got on my nerves, what really bothered me is the commentary team with Cesaro. I'm so fucking sick and tired of the commentary, like, trying to test and undercut anybody who's on fucking guest commentary. Stop trying to be funny. Stop trying to make them look stupid. You're not fucking there to make the guy look stupid. You're there to make the guy look fucking good. JBL, quit fucking doing it. Michael Cole, quit fucking doing it. And God damn it, Jerry the King Lawler, quit fucking doing it. All three of you fucking do it. It's the worst. I don't know how y'all have fucking jobs anymore. I mean, I do because you're fucking JBL and fucking Jerry the King Lawler and Michael Cole, but still, fuck. Your job is to make the guys look good, not to try and make them look stupid. Quit trying to make fucking people look stupid. Jesus Christ.
It's annoying. I'm surprised no one said anything
The
about
whole
like,
time they're like,
upper
instead
people.
of working with Cesaro to get Cesaro more over, instead of working with Cesaro to get the fucking match over, they're like, oh, what about this, Cesaro? Oh, is this what you mean? Oh, no. They're always trying to fucking undercut the guy on guest commentary. It's fucking annoying. It's not your fucking job to make the wrestlers look like shit. You're the fucking announce team. God damn. I mean,
agree.
seriously, like it's not your job to make those guys look dumb.
I
It's
kinda
your job
feel
to make them look good.
I kind of feel like JBL doesn't give a shit.
He
Does
doesn't.
this when we want. I don't know about the other guys. I
None of
guess.
them give a shit. None of them do. They're all like, they all think it's funny, and I don't know if it's just them being like incompetent or Vince in their headsets helping, like giving them the green light to be incompetent, or who the
Give
fuck
him
else.
the works.
Like, stop busting This isn't the. That's not the forum to fuck with the guys and to test the guys. Like, they're on TV. Make them look fucking good and competent. Don't make them look like dumbasses.
Yep.
Jesus. Especially not a fucking star like Cesaro. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Someone you want to have built up for the future.
The equivalent of that is like every time Tyler or Daniel said something on that show, I'd be like, oh, really? That's fucking stupid. Oh, you're a fucking idiot. Oh, is that what you really mean? Because that's fucking dumb. You look stupid right now. If I did that the whole fucking show, that would be the equivalent of what they do every fucking time someone's on guest commentary.
Pretty much.
By the way, you guys are fucking stupid.
Oh, that's probably the nicest thing you've ever said to me. No. But so Orton ends up getting the victory. Seth Rollins decides to come out and take a look at the match firsthand, and after the matchup delivers the curb stomp to Ziggler. It's a sort of showboat to Orton that he did it because he could.
And then Cesaro goes in there and
Says,
destroys
hey,
them all.
That's not right. Yeah. Lays them all out. Bear rake. So next up, we got to see Seth Rollins stick around in the ring to go up against Jack Swagger.
Who's a face.
Who's a face, rocking the black T-shirt instead of the red and blue like he has in weeks past. Still sporting that black eye. Not good. But I don't know. He kind of fell off the wagon here since his loss to Rusev. And haven't seen him in a while.
You know where he got that hit on his eye? From America.
From America?
Yeah.
From letting them all down?
Mm-hmm.
That's where you got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this match was kind of long. Rollins ended up defeating Swagger, and then Orton delivers an RKO from out of nowhere to Swagger. What were your all's thoughts on the matchup?
It was like surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Not great, but like fun. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Nothing's jumping out, but I remember thinking like, hey, this is a fun little match.
Nice.
Did you say RKO out of nowhere?
From out of nowhere. Isn't that what he did? I wasn't even paying
I
attention.
didn't see that part.
Well, Orton did come out for the match because Rollins came out for his match to watch or whatever. Did he? Like he was gonna like he was sort of lounging in the ring and like he was gonna do something, but then Rollins just had the curb stomp. Right? Is that what happened?
I don't remember.
They were sort of sizing each other up, like
Look what I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That's going to build up. It's eventually going to be, hey, Rollins versus Orton.
Well, weren't we just talking about that a couple weeks ago? Like they were saying they want to turn Orton babyface.
I don't think so.
I thought I could have swore I read that somewhere. Maybe we didn't talk about it, but I thought I heard that somewhere.
I hadn't seen or heard it, but it kind of looks like that may be where they might go after this. Like the Authority decides to keep Rollins on instead of Orton.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out.
I like how they booked it with those two guys though. Orton saying, "Hey, why do we keep
why do I
having
have
to
to
fight?"
babysit this guy?
Right.
Why am I taking all the crap? But yeah, I mean they have done a pretty good job. So next up, we got to see Rusev going up against Big Show.
Rusev.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to catch this matchup.
You punched him in the face.
Yeah, but Rusev did end up getting the victory via disqualification. What did you guys think about the matchup?
It's my favorite thing on the show, and I'm not being sarcastic or whatever. I'm not sucked into this because I just can't be, but I appreciate that when they do something well that works on other people well, because like I don't care, like my patriotism doesn't exist. We discussed this.
Right.
But I can still appreciate when they do their thing well enough to get everyone else real hype. The crowd was fucking hot as shit for this, and not just, it was cheap heat. Like they sort of did the stereotypical like, Americans are stupid and lazy, and also the Braves suck. And then the crowd was like they were doing the.
You don't say that about our baseball team,
right? And the crowd was doing the thing with the hatchet. So when Big Show had him in the corner for the chop, he was doing the thing with them while they were doing it. Then he hits him with the chop. But I don't know. It was just like. Both guys came out with some intensity. Both guys came out with some purpose. They had a good little match. It's not off the charts, but these are two big fucking dudes who both pretty athletic for their size, but it was just a cool big man match with some cool power shit. And I wasn't happy about the finish. I don't like the fact that Henry had to get involved. Obviously, Rusev wasn't going down clean.
Yeah.
Get that. You don't want to be show clean either because they're obviously going to have the pay-per-view match. But I don't think the way to go was for Henry to interfere.
Was he aggressive?
He came out to sort of like, come on, Big Show, you can do this. He was just like at ringside, like cheering him on. And then I can't remember, like maybe Rusev like flexed at him or something. And Henry was sort of like, oh, fuck you. And he gets in the ring and
You're about to get the wig split.
It wasn't like Henry was like, yeah, I'm going to fucking cheat to help Show win. It was sort of like he got antagonized to get in the ring, if I remember correctly. And then he was just like, oh, yeah, they already have their bad blood because he beat him. But the thing after was like they sort of cornered him. And it just felt like sort of counterproductive, like for the baby faces. The world's strongest man and the world's biggest athlete to have to gang up on somebody felt like kind of bullshit, It was like bully tactics. Like, come on, guys. You're fucking two hoss motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
You don't got to team up on this, dude. It doesn't make you look good because you're fucking both massive. Like, one of you guys can't be the underdog, especially not when there's two of you.
But Rusev is an unstoppable force.
He has a gold star.
It was a fun match, and the crowd was fucking hot for this. So it was probably my favorite thing on the entire Raw.
Nice.
Yeah.
The good stuff. But yeah, so like Doug said, they did gang up on him, and Big Show delivers the KO punch to Rusev. So yeah, that takes us into the next matchup. Miz with Damian Mizdow going up against Sheamus. I didn't get to catch this matchup either. I heard that the crowd was hot for Sandow, chanting, "We want Sandow, we want Sandow."
He's it, man. People want him. They don't want Miz.
Yeah, well,
or they like the combo, I guess.
They like what he's doing. They're finding humor in what he's doing. He's being comedic and
humorous.
Stuff. Yeah, Hugh Morris. But like we talked about last week, you don't want to break him away from the Miz because once he gets away from that, then what? Like his claim to fame right now is, being comedic, mocking what the Miz is doing, and the fans are saying, "Oh, well, Sandow can do it better because he's mocking someone and he has his own, wrestling skills." But, you also have to think if you get Sandow and split him away from the Miz, he's just going to end up back in the shuffle.
Yeah,
so it's very concerning. I like that he's getting airtime now, and the fans are behind him. But they can't do it too much. You don't want them to split up. But Miz does end up getting the victory via countout. So Sandow certainly happy for that. Doug, what were your thoughts on Miz and Sheamus?
It was fun.
Yeah. So next up, we got to see a 6-diva tag team match play a holla holla. Brie, Naomi, and Natalya going up against Nikki, Cameron, and Summer Rae.
Total Divas.
Yeah, Total Divas, whatever. What'd you guys think about it?
There's not really much to say. There's really not.
That's a bad thing, or?
Well, it's not ever. I guess it's never a good thing to not have anything to say about it. That means nothing
important
impacted.
Stood out.
Nothing impacted.
Had that lady show up and stand in the corner.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck that is.
One of the real American housewives.
Todd Chrisley. I know who the fuck that is because they're on after Raw.
Yeah.
But
and they show their commercials like crazy.
Yeah, well, he was at ringside or whatever.
Oh, Todd Chrisley was.
Yeah.
Was he entertaining at least?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I sort of am entertained by the Chrisley Knows Best or whatever the fuck it's called. Like, yeah, I've called it a few times.
What does he do?
Nah, he bees a rich guy. I don't know. Like, I don't know. He's a rich guy who's like fucking with his kids all the time.
Yeah.
Sounds lovely.
Yeah.
But
I have like a high tolerance for like trash TV. Like I don't know. Talk to me about the NFL. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but I can hold my own with some trash TV.
Okay. So Brie.
See Total Divas later.
Brie ends up getting the pin on Nikki, so that should end the feud, right?
No.
Right?
No, they gotta have the blow off because one of these ladies has got to be the personal assistant of the other. You know that's how all blood feuds end. Personal assistant
Yeah,
tree.
you're gonna be my assistant. That'll teach you. Ha ha.
Ha ha ha.
Ha ha.
Ha ha ha.
So
I just wanted to do it too.
yeah, so Brie ends up getting the victory. See, he did it again.
Do shit.
So after that, we get a Bray Wyatt promo, talking about how he set Luke Harper free, he set Eric Rowan free, and it's coming. But he was at first scared, but because of her, did this her thing and symbolism and all that. The video looked good. I just can't really describe everything that happened.
Eric Rowan is.
So
He talks now.
they're all free. Run.
They're all free.
Yeah.
Then Ascension is coming.
Ascension possibly could be coming.
As the Ascension, more Wyatts.
I don't know. We'll have to find out whenever it finally happens. So that takes us into the main event. Dean Ambrose going up against John Cena in a contract on a pole match. No holds barred with authority. Kane, Orton, Rollins all ringside to enjoy the show and somehow get involved as well. Thoughts on the matchup?
I mean, it's about what you would expect out of a no holds bar contract on a pole match. It's going to be a fuck finish.
Yeah.
There's going to be run-ins.
If Cena's not winning, he can't lose clean in this situation.
Yeah, but he didn't really need to. Plus,
Yeah.
him and Ambrose already have shit, so that could prolong.
Yeah.
And it's sort of hard to work that style of match. Like, so many of these gimmick matches are so hard to work, like a competent match, because you have to make these obvious attempts to make a play for the contract.
Right.
Have to be drugged back down. That kind of stuff.
Oh, I can't climb this turnbuckle.
Sure. They can be done. They can be done well, but it's so hard, to pull that kind of shit off. It's just, not necessarily what I want out of a match,
Yeah.
But it was fine. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you fucking want from me? I don't know.
We need answers. I don't know. But Dean Ambrose does end up getting the victory.
Were you surprised? Because I thought for sure it would be Cena. Well, okay, maybe they caused some doubt when they said, okay, we're going to do it now, today.
Yeah, had they not said no holds barred, I would have said, okay, they're going to have a brawl finish, and Triple H is going to make it a triple threat Hell in a Cell match. That's where I thought they were probably going to go. And then someone was like, no, dude, it's no holds barred. And I'm like, would you really put it past them, even with that, all hell breaks loose. Neither one of them can get it, so we're going to have a triple threat if you guys want to be involved so much. So, I don't know. So anyways, that's how we close out Raw.
Do you think it's the way to go?
A triple threat?
No. Do you
the
think
way they finished?
the way they did go, do you think that's the way to go with a straight up? I think we know that Ambrose and Rollins can have a good match. I think the Cena Rollins or the Cena Ambrose is the more intriguing matchups.
Yeah.
Because I think they have
More to gain.
Well, I think we sort of know what we're going to get out of an Ambrose Rollins match. I think a Cena Rollins match was a little bit more of we got a taste of it, and you could tell they were holding back because they knew they had a big singles match coming.
That's true.
I think it's a little bit more intriguing. I know that Rollins Ambrose will be good, but I sort of know how good it's going to be and how it's going to happen in my head. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. And now Ambrose finally gets his hands on Rollins inside the Hell in a Cell. So
I mean, you still got to think there's going to be shenanigans.
Kane going to be underneath the ring and all that. But who knows? We'll have to see how it all plays out. But all in all, it was a bit better Raw than weeks past.
It was fun enough. Fine.
Well, there you go.
And now, Total Divas with Doug and Tyler. Mostly Doug.
No wonder people call you fat on Twitter.
Shut up! I have to say, I feel like a real diva.
You are a grown-ass woman.
Hey, yo. It's Total Divas time, motherfuckers. So Tyler missed because he had some issues with his DVR or something. I don't know what the fuck. However he watches, something got fucked up. So he missed. And I'm going to do my best. It was a 2-hour show. It was back-to-back 2 new episodes.
Did they give a reason why it was 2 hours?
I think there's 2 more next week, too, which I think they're rushing to a mid-season finale for some reason.
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe something's lining up that they don't want to compete with. I don't know. Because I think they're trying to get it done before the pay-per-view. Well, next
Maybe.
week. Next week's
No.
not the pay per view. It's the week after, right?
Yeah.
No, is it next week?
Not next weekend, but it's the week. Yeah.
Why would they do 2 next week? That would be dumb.
I don't know.
I don't fucking know. I really don't know why they're doing it, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about.
I don't know what they're
next week.
rushing, but even Marie's wedding is not going to be as good as Daniel Bryan and Bree's wedding. I'm just saying.
Well, come on, man. Why are you throwing shade at their wedding? How do you know? What do they have the most bomb ass wedding of all fucking time? How are you gonna
It's not
throw
gonna be
shade?
there
at
Is your
I'm
wedding
not-
going to be as good as Daniel
Yeah, how you
Bryan
gonna
and
throw?
Brie?
How you
No,
gonna throw?
it's not going to be good as Daniel Bryan. Nothing's going to be as good as Daniel Bryan. Fuck, man.
I like how it's like, no, my wedding is not gonna be as good as their wedding. That's so beautiful, man. Okay, I don't know why there was 2 this week. I don't know. I may have just made that up entirely about 2 next week. I don't fucking know. I'm gonna do my best to recount because sort of what happens is Tyler will say something that'll jog my memory about what happened. So I'm gonna try to make it through this. So Eva Marie and Jonathan, who the fuck is named Jonathan? No, I'm kidding. That's a running gag. They're getting married. They've already been married. They're having a for show wedding to have everyone, come and see. I think they just sort of eloped, and so they're sort of having like a, not really a bachelorette party. It's more of sort of like a party because whatever.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming. Both the Bellas go. Jonathan and Eva Marie go. Natty and TJ go. Ariane and Vinny go.
Yeah.
No Trinity.
Yeah.
No. Only
No
who I
John.
named. Those are the only people who went. So I guess like right from Jump Street when they get there, they go somewhere tropical. I can't remember exactly where it was, but I don't know. I think I missed the first like 5 minutes, and I came in on. They're at the hotel already, and Eva Marie and her boy are throwing down like in the bedroom, bumping and grinding, knocking boots, and like it's actually Natalia and TJ in the room, like being like, "What the fuck?" They're so loud because they I guess their rooms are joined or they share a wall or whatever. You know, how sometimes those rooms like meet in the middle. I don't know if it's one of those
Thin
or if
walls.
it was just a thin wall type thing, and they were sort of like, "What in the fuck?" And then they were like, "We're gonna." One of them's like, "Yo, we'll just be like, yeah, like that, but with like, like there, it's like audible. Her like, she's like putting on a show for him, you know." And,
Didn't know that the cameras are right there. There's
well,
cameras.
well, that's what Natty and TJ are like. Yo, like we're gonna show them what's up.
They start fucking.
No, they don't fuck though. That's you know their stupid relationship problems. But well, she was like, "Yeah, let's do it back," and then she was like, "What? TJ just fucking body slam me on the bed. Let's fucking do this." He was like, "What?" He's like, "You know that if we can hear them, then they can hear us." And she's like, "That's the fucking point," or whatever. But what they end up doing is just like going up to the door and like fake having sex, and then it'll just like start hitting and like, like moaning back.
If you weren't watching that and you heard that, would you know it was fake? What they were doing?
Eva Marie or
No, TJ
Natty
and
yeah, I would be like, that's not sex.
yes.
Yeah. But the fucked up thing is, okay, you know how
Get
they
that out of my
always
ear.
have the like the dinner lunch thing where everyone's like together or whatever. Well, the next day they were like, Eva Marie is like, "Yo, I heard y'all throw it down last night." They were putting it over. She was putting it over to them and to like everyone else at the table. Like they were fucking getting it in, yo. Like, and like, you know how Natalia's like, Natalia gets embarrassed but like accepts it or whatever, and TJ's just like, "Oh, you fucking idiots! I don't know what's going on." Like, he's sort of weirded out by the whole thing, but like she, I guess, lets him act like, like she's like, "Yo, we're having a friendly little contest, like noise, whatever, whatever." It was sort of dumb.
Oh yeah, hole in one.
No one did that. But and so she wanted TJ to give it to her, and he was sort of like, "No, whatever." And you know how their whole like their relationship problems, like no like spark left.
Yeah.
They're just the worst. They hate each other. It's clear they hate
She'll
each other.
walk around in lingerie, and he's like, "What's on TV?"
Right. And she's also like not the best to him either. But
Yeah, he's like, yeah. She's like, I hate your fucking sister.
But let me tell you, yeah. But listen, but TJ is gonna fix this on this trip. You know how he's gonna fix this? He's gonna take her on a little romantic excursion away from the rest of the group. So what do you think he did? How do you think he got romantic and showed his woman that, what was up? He made it up to her.
Bought her some new wrestling gear.
Took her to an ostrich farm.
Oh, that was my second guess.
No, but he was like well intentioned. You could tell he was like, "I'm gonna take you on a little romantic trip
baby,
or whatever."
look at
It's
this
just like
big
you and
egg.
me. We're gonna go check out these ostriches. She was scared as fuck of these ostriches. She didn't want anything to do with them. They were like making him hold these buckets, and they were like going through the fence and eating at them, whatever. She was like flipping out. I get it. It's not fucking romantic, right? But she was sort of an
Bitch.
asshole about it, right? Like she was sort of like, this is so unromantic. What were you thinking? Why would you think this is something I want to do with you? And he was like, sort of like, yo, I just wanted to have like a little thing with you. I thought it would be cool. I love ostriches. I don't know.
What was this show? It's like, hey, he's like, yo, TJ, we're gonna pay you to fuck up, do some stupid shit. Take her to an ostrich farm.
Well, I mean, I get it. It's sort of a dumb thing to do, right? But I don't know.
Open land, a lot of open land.
Well, it was sort of like
property.
fenced in, Yeah, but it's not just TJ though. Like she sucks to him as much as he sucks to her. They're
It's
like
equal.
the worst.
I feel like they're equal.
Yeah, you feel like they're the worst. They're your least favorite people on the show, right?
Hate your sister.
Yeah.
Why
She
you giving
does.
her
She
money?
hates his family.
Yeah.
I don't know. The other thing was like, Nikki's like, yo, it's Brie mode time, which we all know is a fucking lie because Brie mode has never happened to Brie as far as we've been watching her on TV. But
Yeah.
she was like, yo, it's Brie mode, and Brie's like not having it. She's like, yeah, I don't want to drink a lot. No, I don't want to do this. Or like Nikki's pissed that Brie isn't partying up with all the girls. And she's like, since you married Brian, you fucking changed. She's like, Brian doesn't like when I get crazy and all this other shit. And like, but she doesn't ever get crazy, right? But
He hates it when I say Brie mode.
yeah.
That's it.
Well, she's just, I don't know. It's just like, she's like, I'm a different woman now. I'm not the same. And I like
Classy.
doing this. I do like doing this wife shit. That's my thing. That's my new thing. Fizzle, the wife shizzle. I'm doing a real bad HBK thing right here. HB shizzle. But, yeah, so basically they just fight and she's like, but do you not like it because Brian doesn't like you to do it, or do you not like doing it? And she's like, sort of like, she's like, aha, because Brian doesn't like you to do it. And she was like, you shouldn't live your life based around what Brian wants. And then she was like, take your own fucking advice because Cena ain't trying to marry you. Cena ain't trying to have none of your babies.
Back in your face. Back in your face.
Right. And they both kind of like, they were sort of resolved about like, yeah.
They're both like, touche.
Right. Right. The other thing was like, Vinny was trying to, like, they were all talking about like, how they're making moves in their relationships. Like, they were talking about like, I think Eva Marie and Jonathan, this whole thing was pretty much about everybody but them. But it was like their little getaway, but it was about everybody else. And they were talking about looking for a house together. And like Vinny was there. He's like, he's like, like, I'd really like to start looking for a house with Ariana, whatever. He says that in front of the group, and she's like, babe, I'm just busy, like whatever. She sort of like shuts him down in front of everybody.
Oh, she's known to do that.
Yeah, and he's sort of bummed out about it.
No.
And he's just like, whatever, and like she's like trying to whatever. He's like, whatever, babe, it's fine, and you can tell he's real bummed out. Like she sort of shut him down. He's like, man, I just want to be with you, and like I want us to move on in our relationship, and like being fucking cool, like how Vinny's cool. And basically her big surprise was she's like, you know what? I am fucking ready. I'm fucking ready to start taking some steps with you, Vinny. She's like, I think we should maybe start looking for a place to live together and stuff like that. And he was like pretty stoked about it. So,
High five.
yeah, I don't know. Also, he changed his Twitter handle because as I was watching this, I was like, I bet Ariana doesn't even fucking follow her man back on Twitter. So I went to her Twitter account and I looked to see if she was following Vinny back. I was like, she fucking doesn't, because it used to be Beast Mode 911 with 3s for the E's, which is fucking classic Vinny.
Very classic.
And then, but I couldn't find it. But he changed his name. He's at Total Vinsanity now.
Insanity.
Total Vinsanity.
I like that.
Which is a little. I mean, it's still pretty Vinny, but it's a little less Vinny than Beast Mode 911. You know.
Maybe you could run.
Oh, maybe I should. Beast Mode 911.
I'm taking it now. He can't go back.
Yep, that's pretty much it. For that episode. The next one I'm really blanking on now. I know there was some stuff about Cena went to the Bellas to like a movie premiere they were in. They sort of. Ugh, I can't fucking talk ever. I'm the most fucking stumbly word motherfucker of all time. I can't fucking say a sentence to save my life. They go to this fucking thing. He's like at the red carpet premiere with Nikki or whatever. He's in a suit doing that awkward like Cena looks so weird in a suit thing only like he can, you know, like this man is clearly not built to wear a suit. Not that I am. Of course I'm not. But you know, he's like too buff for a suit or whatever. And anyway, so they're just sort of talking about shit or whatever. He's like, would you ever do like a nude scene, or would you ever do a sex scene or like a nude scene in a movie or whatever? And she's like, no, of course not. She's like, you know, I'm proud of these girls, but you know, like that's, you know, but they're for you to see or whatever. She's like, I don't know. It would be complicated. It'd be weird. She's like, I think I would do implied nudity. Like, you know, like they shoot you from your back and like, it looks like you're naked, but she's got like something on or whatever, something like that. But she's like, I don't know, but I would talk to you about it. But little do we know at that point that Cena was asking because he also had a movie that he has a sex scene in that he didn't tell her about, that he has like shows his naked ass in. It's like a new Judd Apatow joint. If y'all want to check that, I don't know. If you want to see Cena's ass, be on the lookout. Daniel's shaking his head emphatically. Yes, I will be seeing that.
It's down. It's on. It's cracking.
He's writing down notes. He's like Judd Apatow, Cena butt. Yeah. So they get into it over that, and she's like, "It's sort of fucked up that you didn't even like talk to me about this." And he's like, "Yeah, I know, but I was just, you know, you know how Cena is. He's like business minded. He's like, this is a big opportunity for me. This is what I'm gonna do." Not that he shouldn't have talked to her, but he's sort of like, "I didn't want you to be whatever," and then not take the opportunity. She's like, "Well, I would have been fine with it if you just would have told me what the fuck was going on or whatever." But also, she was sort of like, you know, like I don't want everybody seeing my man's ass. But ultimately, I just wish you would have talked to me about it. The other big thing is like,
whoa.
Good. What?
There's many times she didn't tell Cena about stuff that she did until later on,
Like freezing her eggs.
Yeah,
to have
freezing
babies.
her eggs. There's another thing.
Sort of like how Eva Marie acted like Jonathan was the biggest piece of shit because she got a gun, but like because he didn't talk to her about getting the gun first, but she wanted him like right after she wanted him to like change religions for us.
Nikki
For her, you know.
Yeah.
I mean?
Also, Nikki was married before.
Right. She never told him about
Yeah. So.
You know how this show rolls? Come on, man.
Yeah.
You know
I'll
how
tell the camera before I tell you, John Cena. I'll tell the millions of people that are watching this.
The only other thing I can remember that happened in this episode is that the second episode is that oh god, what's her name? Rosa's out of, you know, we all know she was in rehab. She's out. She's sort of looking to be like dating someone like right now. She doesn't want to fuck anybody because she thinks like she'll be like, if she gets physical with someone, she thinks it would open her up to be hurt, and then her being hurt would open her up to being like abusing alcohol again. So she's not ready to be physical with anyone, but she wants to like start dating around or whatever. So she's dating this like football player guy. I don't fucking know who he is. I'm sure if you saw him, you'd fucking know because he's a football guy. Who cares? I don't
know who it is, but
I mean, I'm sure
Daniel
people at home are like, yeah, of course he's this guy for this team, but I don't fucking know. He's just some fucking football guy. He looks like any other dorky white dude you'd see anywhere else. I don't know. He looks like you know, except he probably makes a lot of money.
Mm.
But yeah, but basically, she's sort of like coming on, like she didn't come on strong with him, but she's like, they have a good first date. They go back for a second date, and she's like, "Yo, look, here is the bottom line. I'm not trying to be having sex with you because this is what I think will happen, and because I was just in rehab and all this." And he sort of plays it off like he's like, oh yeah, I get it, whatever. But then like immediately after he goes on like a date with like Summer Rae, like
What?
they flip this. Well, like earlier, like he was backstage visiting them at the show or whatever at Raw or something, and he met Summer Rae, I guess used to be like a lingerie football player or something. That's a thing, I guess.
Yeah, it used to be.
So she's like, yeah, we got so much in common. And she was sort of being sort of like flirty with him and talking to him or whatever. But they sort of imply that they were being a little flirty while Rosa was off doing her match or something. And then like after Rosa was like, yo, I'm not going to be having sex with you. Also, I was in rehab. The dude was sort of like, oh, that's great. Peace out. And then he's like, they show him on a date with Summer Rae like later. That's the only other thing I can remember. I don't know what else.
Okay, I'm going to try for this girl, this diva. She's going to say no. I got this other girl in lock. It's going to happen.
Yeah, he came off looking like a shit. She definitely came off looking bad. He totally looked like a shithead. That's all I can remember. I'm sorry. It was too fucking hours. What do you want
too
from
much
me?
of Summer Rae this season.
Only when she's like getting her shit in other people's business.
Yeah. Or then sometimes when she walks, she's like strutting like a bird, doing bird law.
Bird law. Not
I'm
governed by reason.
Sorry, that's all I can remember. Tyler wasn't here to jog my memory. I mean, he
That
was here, but he
sucks.
didn't see it. Yeah, maybe next week.
Is that it?
Oh yeah. Girl, bye.
So there you go. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Doug.
Sorry, that was
Thanks
long-winded.
mostly, Doug. So time to go into some hot topics. Tyler, we'll let you kick things off. Some WWE 2K15 news. I know you're getting excited about that.
Yeah, WWE
Yeah.
2K14.
What am I looking at?
Stone Cold's arm.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. That's all
That was in
broken.
the game.
It's a broken arm. Stone Cold Steve Austin. What?
Which one is that?
What?
2K14. I have a picture I'm going to post on the website. It's Stone Cold's arms look like it's broken
Okay.
in the game. Yeah,
That is weird.
it's glitching.
Glitching hard.
So they revealed the season pass, the DLC and season pass details.
You don't say.
Yeah, I'm going to say it. The accelerator, they always do that every year if you want to buy it. It's part of, I think, the season's pass too, but you unlock everything if you want to cheat. And
Instead of play through.
Yeah.
Which is quicker.
If you don't,
It's that thing they're always trying to upsell you on. Right after you pay $65 for a game, they're like, hey, do you want to pay this other $30 too?
Yeah.
Also?
But they don't tell you the price until you've already swiped your card.
Right,
You're like,
right.
what?
the season pass is $24.99.
That's right.
And
You're basically paying $80 for the game.
yeah, so all the things that I'm about to say is part of the season pass, and I'll tell you the price if you don't buy the season pass. Accelerator, like I said, it unlocks everything. It's $1.99 if you haven't got the season pass. 2K showcase, one more match. The story focused on the rivalry between WWE superstars Randy Orton and Christian in 2011. Playable WWE superstars: Christian, Randy Orton, Edge, Mark Henry, and Sheamus. I don't know what that means. I guess that's what you play during that time period. I don't know.
Probably like the little storyline that they do.
Yeah, Playable Arenas from 2011, SmackDown, Extreme Rules, Over the Limit, and Capital Punishment. 2K Showcase, one more match will be available for $9.99.
For 1 month of the WWE Network.
Yeah. 2K Showcase,
6-year
Hall
contract.
of Pain. Story focused on top matches from WWE superstar Mark Henry.
There you go.
Playable WWE superstars: Mark Henry, Big Show, Kane, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Sheamus, The Great Khali, Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan, and Ryback. Playable arenas: SmackDown 2011, Vengeance 2011, WrestleMania 29. Hall of Pain, if you want to get by itself, is $9.99.
For 1 month of the WWE Network.
Yeah. 2K Showcase, Path of the Warrior. It's going to be focused on Ultimate Warrior. Playable WWE Hall of Famers: Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, and Sergeant Slaughter. Playable WWE Legends: Honky Tonk Man, Rick Rude, Macho King, and Colonial. How you say Colonial Mustafa? No.
Not Colonel.
Colonial.
Colonial?
Colonial. Sorry, I can't talk. Playable WWE superstars Undertaker and Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Access to WWE Hall of Fame ring announcer Howard Finkel. Managers Jimmy Hart, Bobby Heenan, Paul Bear, Sherry, Sid Justice. Who's Sid Justice? And he just changed it to Sid. Okay. And General Adnan. Playable arenas, WrestleMania. Dude, I'm not good with Roman numerals. Sorry.
Where are you?
Right there.
WrestleMania 6, 7, 12. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 6, 7, 12. SummerSlam 88, 90, and 91. Saturday night's main event 24. And Madison Square Garden.
That's cool if they're going to put Madison Square Garden in there.
Mm-hmm.
And have the entrance, the one where, like, the weird-looking small entrance, the door opens. That's, yeah. And it'll be $9.99.
$9.99.
WCW pack.
So you're already looking at $28 if you buy this all separately.
Yeah.
Or wait, no. Basically $32.
Is that so far what you calculated?
Yeah.
Not the ones I'm about to say, too.
Because $199 for the access, or for the accelerator, right?
Yeah.
So that's basically $2.
Yeah.
And then $9.99 for 3 DLC packs, which is basically $10 a piece.
Yes.
So you're looking at $32 plus tax.
Next one is WCW pack with Finley, Lord Steven Regal, Bam Bam Bigelow, Diamond Dallas Page, and Lex Luger.
Let me guess, $9.99.
$7.99.
Oh.
Yeah.
So $39.
And then NXT Arrival with NXT Superstars, JBL.
$18.99.
JBL, Adam Rose, and The Ascension, Connor and Victor, Emma, and it will be available for $6.99.
Ooh.
It's going down.
Yeah.
And the last pack.
So it's cheaper just to buy the all access pass, basically.
It is. New moves pack. Ooh. More than 30 new moves.
$3.99.
Yeah.
Hey!
$3.99. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Including an alternate version of Sister Abigail performed from the ring corner and made popular by Bray Wyatt.
Neat.
Okay. And multiple gut wrenches made popular by Cesaro.
There you go.
$3.99, and that's it.
$3.99. Cool deal. So a lot of stuff to buy.
Yeah, so get the season pack
For, what is it, 24?
$24.99. And apparently, and also $24.99, if you get the season pass, it automatically unlocks Paige.
And Paige.
And
yeah.
Paige.
So there you go. Exclusive character.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Thank you very much, Tyler.
I'm
So
pumped.
That's your WWE 2K15 news. And the three of us will all be getting it for the PlayStation 4. So if you want to join in on the games, make sure you get the PlayStation 4 version. Maybe we'll have like a game night or something like that. And
Get the season pass, too.
yeah, get the season pass.
Just recommended.
And we can set something up like that. So moving on in Hot Topics, it has been reported that Justin Roberts was released, or as the WWE put it, they did not renew his contract. So he is no longer with the company. I think they said they're going to be bringing in Lillian to do Raw and Eden to do SmackDown.
Why are they getting rid of? I don't understand.
I don't know.
They couldn't come to terms on a new deal, is what Meltzer said.
That's tough. That sucks. But
It does.
Well, some people were saying that like they thought they saw him and Michael Cole get into a fight like at Raw or whatever, and they ended with him flipping Cole off like on Raw last night or whatever, and then he was released after.
yeah.
But then like Meltzer said afterward, he was just like, "Yo, they just his deal is up, and then he couldn't come to terms on a new deal."
That sucks. So yeah.
So maybe that was just frustration, like him saying, "Well, I'm done, so fuck it, I'll do whatever."
Pretty much.
I don't know.
Fuck
I
you,
didn't see it. They
motherfucker.
obviously didn't show it or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, tough break for Justin Roberts. I'm sure he'll get to be somewhere else soon. Huh? What about him? About the? Oh yeah, for Kurt Angle, that there was no deal or something.
Supposedly they offered him a full-time deal, and
he didn't want to
he
do
declined
it.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Some people think maybe it was their polite way of declining him because they knew that he wouldn't be able to pass a physical or work a full-time schedule or whatever. So
Yeah. Sucks.
no deal.
That sucks that they
No
don't want
dice.
him back.
I'd take him back. Heck yeah.
I
give
think
him
you
a
do like a
light
nice
skip.
farewell thing for him.
Yeah.
farewell tour. So there you go. Last bit of Hot Topic news we have for you. Turns out Daniel Bryan may indeed need a second surgery as his healing has not gone according to plan.
Can't heal naturally, man.
He's not recovering the way the doctors want him to, and it looks like he may have to get another surgery. So
Poor Daniel Bryan.
Another tough break for the guy. It just sucks. But hopefully he can recover from that and be back in the ring soon. So I think they said he was expected to have a January return. So we might be looking at a full year that he'll be out.
Well, I think they said that I was reading something about it. With the type of surgery he's supposed to have, the expected recovery time is 6 months, 6 to 12 months. That's after this next surgery, so another 6 to 12 after whatever.
That is awful. So awful.
Like a whole fucking ligament. Supposedly they're taking a ligament out of somewhere else in his body and putting it back in his arm.
Damn.
Making him Cyborg Brian. So there you go. With that being said, it's time to go into the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions and our answers. First question coming to us from Thomas. Drop it low, son.
Drop it low, son. Drop it low, son.
Saying, hey, fellas, simple question for you this week. Would you recommend... Would you recommend the WWE Network to me? It was initially going to be released here in the UK just before SummerSlam, but was delayed until October 1st. Needless to say, it didn't come out then, and now WWE have said there will be an update on the release date by November 1st. I'm half wanting it, but wanted to get your guys' views.
It's as simple as this. Why would you pay full price for a pay-per-view on a cable platform when you can pay $9.99 and get it, or whatever the fucking equivalent is in your country, and get the fucking pay-per-view for that?
I know that Sky Sports offers a lot of pay-per-views for free.
Well, I apparently am ill-equipped to answer this question. What do you? What is he typing on the
plus? He was just holding down the plus
sign. It was a whole paragraph. It was like it's a new question.
Plus.
Well, I'm obviously ill-equipped to answer like another country's like cable provider like fucking questions. Yeah. How would I know?
Yeah, I think you have to ask yourself, how often would you use it? Would you just use it for the pay-per-views? Would you watch it for the pay-per-views and NXT? Would you go through and watch the entire library? It's still gotta be cheaper
just than the pay-per-views.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of people find less than reputable sources to watch the pay-per-views.
They'd be pirated.
Yes. So I mean, if they want to do that, that is their choice.
Listen doesn't strike me as a pirate.
No, but
I think this man is on the up and up.
He's in university right now. He's doing well for himself. He got himself an award. So he's taking our advice and becoming a man.
Becoming a man. He's growing some hair on his chest.
I can give you a lot of advice, none of which will help you become a man. I don't know.
Learn how to change a tire and the oil filter in your vehicle.
I can help you with a lot of shit, but none of it is going to teach you how to become a man.
But I mean, you got to weigh the, how often you're going to access it, what you're going to use it for, because I personally only use it to watch NXT every once in a while, and I'll watch the pay-per-views. So that's getting my money's worth, as opposed to paying, $55 for a pay-per-view. I'm paying $10 a month and getting to watch it whenever I want. And as soon as the pay-per-view's over, you can go back and rewatch it as many times as you want. You can go back and watch any of the pay-per-views, which is really cool. So yeah,
I really think it's as simple as if you aren't pirating these fucking shows, it's worth it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you're just paying a little bit to get the pay-per-view, and then you have whatever else they decide to put on.
The whole library that they have uploaded on there.
Well, not the whole library, but the library they have.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So yeah, I mean, it's up to you if, like I said, if you watch it, if you would watch the product that they put on there regularly, or even if it's just to save money on getting a pay-per-view, I would say definitely get it, because, a 6-month commitment here is $60. A singular pay-per-view is like $50. So, 6 months.
$55 if you want to get that HD.
Yeah, $55. So $60 for 6 months of the network, or $55 for one pay-per-view that you get to watch one time.
Yeah.
Maybe he has some weird like college thing where he's got like shitty internet where he's got to pay like whatever.
Ooh.
That may suck. Maybe
Yeah.
that may be a setback. I don't know.
That's another thing to
If
take
you're
into
paying, like,
consideration.
if you got like a cap on your usage of the internet, that may be a problem.
Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
know.
So take that into account as well, because if you don't have a strong stream, you're going to get a lot of buffering, a lot of issues with that. So, but there you go. So take that what you will.
Yeah, assuming you have optimal internet and you're not powered and shit, then it's sort of a no-brainer, I think.
Yeah. So there you go. Next question is coming to us from Occam City, saying, "Great show as always, guys.
Occam City.
I personally think
I'm no R. Kelly, sorry.
I personally think WWE should turn more guys into
I will
part-time
pee on Tyler,
performers.
though. And I'm going to keep talking all over you. Also, I'm going to pee on Tyler.
Due to the huge roster and general lack of direction. And it could also help keep the product feeling new as guys leave and come back. I don't see any reason why the WWE couldn't combine their creative staffs with writers and bookers and have the bookers decide where the product is moving and allow the writers to script out the storyline. With that being said, do you guys see the WWE ever holding another WrestleMania at Madison Square Garden? I live in New York City, and for the most part, WWE events are either in Brooklyn or Long Island. We maybe get one event at Madison Square Garden around Christmas, but that's about it. I've held out.
No, I think they've outgrown that building.
Yeah.
It looks really cool on TV. The way they come out through those mid-crowd entrances is really fucking rad. It's just too small. That's a 20,000 seat arena, and they're fucking trying to, have 90,000.
They're selling out Superdomes
Right.
and all that, 70-something thousand.
Yeah, it sucks, but I don't think they're going back, brother.
And if you watch the DVD or on the network, the History of WrestleMania documentary that they did, they said that once they went to, I forget which WrestleMania it was. I think it was 23. They said they're never going to do WrestleMania in a small venue again. They're going to do stadiums from here going forward.
It's too small, man. They outgrew it.
Yeah, it's definitely become a global juggernaut.
But that is a cool
WrestleMania.
building, and it sucks that you can't, I guess, see it in your hometown.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see, where was the place? It said I've held out on live events at Madison Square Garden, holding out for a major event. Like the events my uncle, who got me into wrestling, would go to the Garden during the 80s. And for the question everyone has, will we be seeing? This one's for Tyler mostly. Will we be seeing John Dynamite featured on the WNS video account when WWE 2K15 drops?
Well, now before he says anything, last week, I think either last week or the week before, we're like, no, shut the fuck up because we're gonna put this on the show. And it's just so crazy that Occam City asked a question about it, and we forgot to talk about it. But last week, or the week before, Tyler tries to pull this bullshit on. It's like, guys, you know what? I think I'm done with John Dynamite. I think he's like new console,
new platform, fresh start.
I'm gonna get a new
player.
player. I was like, what the fuck? You can't fucking drop John
Whoa,
Dynamite. That's
okay,
bullshit.
Okay,
That's
John
fucking
Dynamite's
bullshit.
been through a lot, okay? He's been there since the early PS2 phases and stuff.
John
and-
Dynamite's been sucking for many years.
No.
And he shouldn't stop sucking now.
He's a veteran, man. He's been
He's
through
a
games
grizzled,
and
he's a
stuff.
grizzled old vet.
He's even been in the TNA game.
So he's gone to TNA and come back.
Yeah, he didn't
done
look
that
that
route.
good in TNA, though, because
They
that was a
didn't
bad time
they didn't
period.
know how
Okay,
to
that was
use
a
them,
bad
right?
time period.
Okay.
Were there creator wrestlers in that fucking AAA game?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Okay. So
That game sucked pretty bad, too.
It did.
So Tyler, it's been a week since we talked about it. I know it was off the show. So you've had time to sort of sit down, gather your thoughts,
I see it
see
as
the
our
errors
duty.
in your ways.
I was discouraged last or 2K14 because
They didn't have the Matt Hardy pants.
No, they did.
Oh.
They didn't have the shitty white boy dreads?
They did. Fuck you.
I'm sorry, any dudes out there with shitty white boy dreads, I'm sorry.
I didn't get him the way I wanted. Like, I couldn't get his muscles the way I want. It either looked too small or it was too big. I couldn't, like, the last year I would always tweak his, like, body to make it look, like, I'm not saying, like, you want, like, be super buff.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for a big guy. I'm kind of looking like a guy who, like, he looks good and strong, but he's like a short, high flyer guy. And this past year, I
Gotta get him on that protein diet, man.
Yeah.
Little HGH.
Wait.
Don't let last year's game discourage you from making 2K15 edition.
But he knows how to do this wrestling moves. Why does he have to go through the NXT arena and get griped out?
Because that's how they do it now.
You gotta
Fucking
prove yourself.
I already proved myself. I've been the champion so many times.
hey, everyone. That's just how they do things now. Everyone goes through NXT.
Do
Kevin
you even watch WWE?
Steen,
You know how
Kenta,
fickle they are. As
yeah,
far
John
as
Cena was
memories.
the main champ, and they make him go through NXT again.
Listen, in good conscience, as your two friends, there's no way that we could, in good conscience, let you drop John Dynamite. It's too much fun making fun of that fucker.
If I have to make John Dynamite myself, I will.
No. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to make John Dynamite, and then me and you are going to play online, and then he's going to be into your storyline, and he's going to come attack your ass and beat the fucking shit out of your character.
Well,
So with that being said,
if you make
So since you just said that, is that confirmation that John Dynamite will
think
be
about
in
it.
WWE 2K15?
I got to think about it.
no, there's nothing to think about. If you don't make John Dynamite, we're not even gonna fucking play with you.
Oh, wow. Okay. So if I make him, he can come in y'all's storyline and
He can
beat the
join.
hell out of y'all's characters.
He can try.
If you
can
make
try,
John,
it's gonna
if you make John Dynamite, we'll each create a character original, not just like a Doug or a Daniel, but like we'll make our own guy up.
So you make your own guy up and like
He'll be vastly
Bring him
superior
throughout
to
the
John.
years.
He'll be vastly superior to John Dynamite. He'll have better style. He'll have better moves. Yes, we will
Clothes
make
and
our
hair.
own guys.
I'll make John Dynamite now. Okay.
All right, motherfucker.
Beat
All right,
y'all's
motherfucker.
asses with John Dynamite.
Handshake? All right.
Handshake.
All
I
right.
gotta make y'all's characters too.
Okay, we'll do it.
Easy there, shooter. That was a firm handshake. Thought you were a worker, brother.
Oh yeah.
We're in the biz, man. Take that shit easy. So so there you go. So breaking news.
Breaking
WNS
news.
podcast exclusive.
John Dynamite has
John
to go
Dynamite.
through developmental again.
One more
Fuck that shit.
character confirmed for WWE 2K15.
I'm gonna go through developmental and beat the shit out of Hugh Morris.
There you go. Show
Wait, wait,
everyone.
wait, wait.
It's time to show the world.
I got to clear the record for Arkham City. John Dynamite is just Jon, right?
Yeah, J-O-N.
Okay. Well,
No one.
I know he didn't know, but like if we're gonna, let the legacy of John Dynamite grow, we gotta start like putting the facts out there. It's
Yeah.
Jon, people.
we need to have a John
Jon.
Dynamite T-shirt.
John Dynamite. Whoops.
Like we need
Everybody's
to
ass.
we need to have some
We need
merch
someone
for
to
John
we need
Dynamite.
someone to look at John Dynamite's ugly ass and like make a T-shirt graphic of him. I will rock the shit out of that guy.
Maybe we can contact our buddies from Top Rope Tuesday and they can get something like that going. Would you be honored?
Make fun of my character.
I'm asking, would you be honored
My
to have
character is
John
big
Dynamite?
throughout the
Would
years.
you be
and gonna
honored?
Whoop y'all's ass.
Would you be honored to have John Dynamite on a T-shirt sold to the public?
I don't know.
I want a John Dynamite T-shirt. I'm not even joking. I want one.
It'd be cool to have a feature on 2K15 where you can make your own mask and stuff and
Yeah.
make the Luchador podcast mask and put it on Dynamite's face.
There you go.
He can't go masked. He can't put the mask on. He's been up for years and years with his face.
Well, Cody put on a mask one time. No one.
It was
knew
clear.
no one knew what he looked
CM
like.
Punk had one as well. So
It's all in good fun, Abear, but you got to make John Dynamite. You got to.
it's tradition.
It's tradition.
Yeah, don't break tradition, man.
I had another one.
Great question, Arkham City.
I had
Great question.
another guy that I carried for a few years. Now dropped him. But he has been there. He was like a tall guy. He had a stupid name. His name was John Jackson. I don't know. I forgot.
Jackson Johnson.
Jackson Johnson.
Jack that Johnson.
All I know is John Dynamite is no match for Cat Carrot.
Cat Carrot.
Looks like a giant carrot, but he's got hair like Cat Carrot.
You know what? I just don't understand how people they spend their time to perfect their character. I try to perfect my character, but there's certain
It's too much work.
dimensions and stuff I can't get right.
Yeah, that's too much work.
I try to write down certain stuff, but they change things every year and stuff, and it's like, dude, how'd you get that great character so perfect? I can't do that. I try.
But thank you, Arkham City. Also says, P.S. How great of a WrestleMania moment would it be if Sandow put The Miz in the figure 4 and they both tapped out at the same time?
Oh, kind of funny.
It'd be funny. I don't know if you don't necessarily have to have that as a WrestleMania moment, but I mean you could have that as their feud, like they're both tapping out because Ms. Dow. But yeah, so there you go. Thank you for the question. Final question tonight coming to us from Seth Rickson, saying was curious if you guys
How big is Kylie's dick? Let me guess.
saying was curious if you
16
guys
inches.
think that Earl
That's
Hebner
that
and
girl.
Seth Rickson asks, I was curious if you guys think that Earl
We're not done
Hebner,
sidetracking you yet.
if Earl Hebner and Charles Robinson should be in the Hall of Fame.
Next to Colley's dick.
If so, when's the proper time to induct them?
I sort of feel like his real question is, do refs belong in the Hall of Fame? And I think they do.
Yeah.
I think they're way more important to professional wrestling than Drew Carey or anyone else that's been in the celebrity wing. Or not everyone, but most everyone.
Is Earl still part of TNA?
Mm-hmm.
He won't be inducted until he gets out of TNA.
Yep.
I think what you have to. I think the tricky part about refs in the Hall of Fame is so much of what makes a good ref is like not noticing that they're there. It's hard to come up with objective criteria to debate on, like what would make where you start with refs. You
Company
know?
man.
Sure.
Calling it right down the middle.
And
Being nicknamed Little Nate. That's Charles Robinson.
you know what I'm saying. But
Little Nate.
Little Nate.
I mean, you got to think that there are people
Sprinting down that.
if you establish that whatever, there aren't any refs in the WWE Hall of Fame, right? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm sure, like, if you look at cauliflower
Cauliflower
alley
hour.
club. I'm
Cauliflower.
sure all and like the legit pro wrestling Hall of Fames, they have like refs in there. I don't know if the WWE has a ref in there or not. I don't think that they do, but yeah, I
Unless they
think
were a ref at one time and then went on to manager/wrestler.
right. But yeah, I think they belong there. As far as when, I don't know. I think you have to. Not that the WWE like establishes any objective criteria for how they.
You have to be out of the business for at least 3 years. and
right? So
Based on a ballot.
I mean, personally, I'd have to start. I'm a big believer in you start from the beginning and you see who belongs in. That's, already like been well done with their career. But
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could see Charles Robinson going in because he's been a good company guy. He worked for WCW. He works for WWE. He's been, he's been in the business for a long time.
I'm just saying, once you establish refs, I'm sure there has to be someone before those guys that would deserve to go in. I'm saying, like, if you're going to be objective, you would have to establish what qualifies you and put guys who qualify before these guys. But yeah, I mean, I believe refs deserve it. I don't think they have any in the WWE either.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, there you go. So thank you for the questions. Make sure to submit your questions on our Facebook page, WNS Podcast, our YouTube page, WNS Video. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com and WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook. And subscribe to our show on iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
Search for us on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, and Player.fm.
Yeah.
Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
Good stuff.
Twitter at WNS Podcast, at WNS_Daniel, at Tyler_Aber.
And there you go. For the podcast crew, I am Dan O'Haron.
I'm Tyler Aber.
I'm Doug.
And we will catch you all next week.